Hey guys, this is Nodlammers Invoked 101. Welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at my brand new Time Thief Gagaga deck. Not gonna lie, this is pretty heavily inspired by another content creator's build. And it's not even done yet. There are a few things from the extra deck missing, but I'll talk about that when I get to the extra deck. And it's realistically just a couple cards, but the main deck is pretty solid. This is pretty much how I like the main deck. There's a few cards that I'm going to talk about and what I would switch. But I was inspired to make this from another content creator called Clowny Knight. I'll post a link to his video either in the cards, like the iCards, or I'll either put it in the description. So, but with that out of the way, down in the description there's a link to our Patreon, our Teespring, our Cashapp, our Ko-fi, and our Discord. If you feel like supporting the channel, that's where to do it. And with that said, we're gonna jump right into this. This deck is really fun. It's like I want to do something with all the Gagaga stuff that I got out of the Legendary Hero boxes, and this I saw this deck and I was like, okay, this is definitely what I want to do with it. So starting us off, we of course have 3 Time Thief Winder. This is one of the main starter cards of the deck. It's actually one of the best cards in the deck. It says you can detach one material from an Xyz monster you control, special summon this card from your hand. This card is normal or special summon. You can add 1 Time Thief card from your deck to your hand except Winder, and you can only use each effect once per turn. I've actually had a lot of the Time Thief cards since they came out in Savage Strike. I just didn't know what to do with them, so I haven't really had a chance to play around with them or read them. I know what Redoer does. Like, I know that he steals cards off the top of the opponent's deck in the standby, does different things. But some of the other cards, like Winder, you don't really see a lot because a lot of the main deck Time Thief stuff is gone. Just doesn't get played. So it's really cool to play a deck that actually features all the Time Thief stuff. This one's actually one of the better ones. This is probably the best Time Thief card. This is also one of the best cards to open with, and that's Regulator. It says if you control no other monsters, you contribute this card. Special summon 2 Time Thief monsters with different names from your deck and defense position except Regulator. And then when an Xyz monster you control is destroyed by battle while this card's in your graveyard, you can special summon it but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect of Regulator once per turn. So the really cool part about Regulator and I believe Bezel Ship and Chrono Device, is that what it's called? Chrono Quarter. They all do stuff that banishes them, but because you're sticking them under Xyz monsters, they just go to the graveyard, which is kind of neat, but that effect usually doesn't matter. The revive effect usually doesn't matter. You're almost always just tributing it and leaving it in the graveyard. Regulator almost never comes back. But yeah. The next Time Thief is 2 Bezel Ship. Bezel Ship is one of the other Time Thief cards that's pretty good. It says, quick effect, you contribute this card, target a Time Thief Xyz you control, attach 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to that monster as material, which is kind of cool to do on your opponent's turn. But it also has, if this card's in the graveyard, you can detach 1 material from an Xyz monster you control, special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. So, and then you can only use each effect of Bezel Ship once per turn. So Bezel Ship is pretty cool. I like the fact that Winder allows you to detach the special from hand, while this one allows you to detach the special from grave. I think that's pretty cool. The last one is Chrono Quarter, and Chrono Quarter is a one-of simply because its effect doesn't really matter. It really doesn't. But it does have a graveyard effect, which is kind of neat. So its first effect is during your opponent's battle phase, quick effect, you contribute this card during your the next battle damage you take from an opponent's monster attack this turn is inflicted to your opponent instead. That's whatever, it almost never comes up. The other effect is if a face-up Xyz monster you control leaves the field by card effect while this card is in your graveyard, except during damage step, you can special summon this card but banish it when it leaves the field. So that's the main effect that you want with this, because when Redoer leaves the field, you'll be able to special Chrono Quarter and then slap it under another Xyz monster. So yeah, that's it for the Time Thief package that we're playing. Just the 9 monsters. I think that's a good enough selection of monsters. Sorry, my stomach is oh, all right. So moving into the Utopia or Gagaga stuff, we're playing 3 Utopic Automatopoeia. This is easily the best Automatopoeia card in my opinion. I think that this one just simply takes the cake, but the other 2 cards that we're going to talk about, they're pretty good too. But this guy is definitely really good. If you don't see Chrono, so here how it works is if you don't see Regulator, you want to see this guy instead. That's like the big thing. But anyways, Automatopoeia is, or Automatopia, sorry. He's always treated as a Zubababa, Gagaga, Gogogo, and Dododo card. He is all the Automatopoeia attributes. And then it says, during your main phase, you can special summon up to one each Zubababa, Gagaga, Dododo, or Gogogo monster from your hand in defense position. Also, cannot special summon for the extra deck for the rest of this turn, except Xyz monsters. You can only use this effect of Utopic Automatopia once per turn. Or maybe it is Automatopoeia. I don't know. It looks like Automatopia to me. But either way, really good card, insanely strong, allows you to start your Xyz stuff, and if you have him and a handful of the other Gagaga stuff, you can special summon all of it, so. The next monster we play is three Zubababa Bancho Gagaga Coat. So this is one of the magical hero cards, and this card is awesome. This is easily one of those other like really strong cards. It says, if you control a Zubababa or Gagaga monster except Bancho, while this card is in your hand, you can special summon this card. You can target one Gogogo or Dododo monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can also not special summon monsters from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except Xyz monsters. You can only use each effect of Gagaga Coat once per turn. So another really cool monster that's just really good to see, especially with a handful of the Gagaga stuff. And what's really cool about the other two, about him and this guy, the Dododo Dwarf and Gogogo Glove, sorry, both of them can do stuff with like each other, and then it only gets better with Automatopoeia. So like it's kind of difficult to brick when it comes to monster lineups, especially since Winder allows you to search Time Thief cards and whatnot. So. But anyways, Dododo Dwarf, his effect is, during your main phase, you can special summon one Zubababa or Gagaga monster from your hand, which Coat fits that description. And it says, if you control a Gogogo or Dododo while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. You can only use each effect once per turn. This is another really good card just to be able to bring out and then slap it under an Xyz monster. Kind of works with Bezel Ship and Chrono Quarter, but yeah. The main effect is just getting more summons, getting more things on the field to make rank 4s. And the last monsters that we play is one Gogogo Giant. When this card is normal summoned, you target a Gogogo in your graveyard, special summon it in defense, then change this card to defense position. And then if this card is attacked, it's changed to defense position at the end of the battle phase. It doesn't really matter, we're mostly just playing this as another name, really. And then one Gagaga Magician. Again, just another name. This also allows us to change levels, which works with one of the new Automata cards, so Gagaga Magician. And I wanted to play a common Gagaga Magician because I wanted the deck to be like as low rarity as possible, but I only had ultimate rare Gagaga Magicians. It's like, but like legitimately this is basically a common. It came out of like some weird tin. But yeah, so that's it for the Utopia stuff, and that's also it for the main deck monsters. 20 monsters, it's 20 monsters, 20 spells and traps, so it's 20 spells and traps. So anyway, starting us off with these spells and traps, we're gonna kind of do this in two different sections, where it's like a Utopia or Automatopoeia stuff section, and then the Time Thief section, and then when we get to the extra deck is just the extra deck. So the first card we're playing is 3 Automatopoeia. If you don't know what this card is, it is the new Rhoda for like the Automatopoeia archetype stuff, like the Utopia rank 4 turbo guys. But basically it says you can only activate one of it per turn. You send one card from your hand to the graveyard, add up to 2 of these monsters from your deck to your hand. You cannot add 2 from the same category either, and then it has one Zubababa, one Gagaga, one Gogogo, or one Dododo. So you get to pick 2. The really cool thing is that this searches literally any of the stuff, because you can choose that they are treated as one of the other types that you're playing. So you can literally just search any monster in your deck as far as the Gagaga stuff goes with this, because all the new stuff is treated as multiple things. So that's really cool. Next up, we have our search card for the search card. This is Automata Pickup. An Automata Pickup is a continuous spell that says when this card is activated, you can add one Automat card from your deck to your hand, except Pickup. And then it says you can target one Zubaba, Gagaga, Gogogo, or Dododo monster you control. All monsters you currently control become that monster's level until the end of this turn. Even if this card leaves the field, you can only use this effect once per turn. You can only activate one Pickup per turn. So this works essentially with Gagaga Magician. Magician has the ability to change his level from, you declare a level from 1 to 8 and then he becomes that level. And so now instead of having to play some weird cards to make that work for the other monsters on the field, such as I believe Gagaga Girl can copy his level and Gagaga Sister, I think, can do it too. Now you can just use this to make everything like level 8, everything level 6, level 5, whatever. It's going to be level 8 because level 8 is the next best one after 4. So, and then after that, the only other like Utopia type support card we play is one Double or Nothing, because we are playing Utopia Double. There's really no reason not to play Utopia Double in this deck because it is technically a Gagaga deck. So, but yeah, one Double or Nothing, and that's it for the Automatopoeia stuff. As for the Time Thief stuff, we are playing 3 Time Thief Startup. This is one of the best Time Thief spell cards. This is actually, there's only 2 Time Thief spell cards, so this is the best Time Thief spell card, in my opinion. It says it's a quick play spell that says special summon 1 Time Thief from your hand. During your main phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target target 1 Time Thief XYZ monster you control, attach 3 Time Thief cards with different types, a monster, a spell, and a trap from your graveyard to that monster as material. You can only use 1 startup effect per turn and only once that turn. This card is great. This card is insane. I love this thing. This is like one of the best. This is like it's nuts. It lets you get extra Time Thieves out of your hand, which is awesome. I'm also playing 2 Hack. This is a card I've considered cutting to 1. This is one of those cards that I was talking about where it's like, you could play something over it. I'm not totally sure what I would play over this, but I think Hack might be cut down to a 1 of at some point in the future. Anyways, it says, during the turn they're special summoned. XYZ monster you control cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Also, your opponent cannot target them with card effects. You can target 1 face-up XYZ monster you control. It gains 300 attack for each material currently attached to it that is owned by your opponent. And if it does it can attack directly this turn, even if this card leaves the field. You can only use 1 effective Time Thief Hack per turn. So there's a lot of stuff going on there, but basically it's just it's kind of like an Ancient Gear Fortress. We did Ancient Gears recently, so this is like Ancient Gear Fortress. Moving into the traps, we are playing 2 Time Thief Flyback, which is a really good trap card. It says target 1 Time Thief XYZ monster you control, attach 1 Time Thief card from your hand or deck to it as material. Fantastic. It allows you to shove traps under it, allows you to shove the spells under it. You can get bezel ships under there. It lets you resource your deck an insane amount, especially since Redoer is going to shove that stuff in the graveyard anyways. Then it also says, you banish this card from your graveyard, target a Time Thief XYZ monster you control, attach 1 card from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. You can only use 1 Time Thief Flyback effect per turn and only once that turn. The other effect is kind of like a DD Crow, which is, as we all know, DD Crow is really good. Except the only condition is you have to control Redo or Perpetua, and that's really easy to do because it's rank 4 turbo. We're literally just playing rank 4 turbo, so Flyback is great. The next trap we play is the slightly less good trap, which is Retrograde. And I'm not saying a counter trap is bad. I'm not saying counter traps are bad. It's just like this is a more pure Time Thief deck because it's centered around summoning Redoer and Perpetua. So Retrograde is much better here. But if you're playing Time Thieves as an engine, definitely try to play the flybacks over the retrogrades. So retrograde is a counter trap for Time Thieves. It says when a spell or trap card is activated while you control Time Thief XYZ, negate it, and if you do, attach that card to a Time Thief XYZ you control as material. You can only activate 1 retrograde per turn. That is awesome. That's awesome for Time Thieves. It's totally in theme, as one of the big things with Time Thieves is, especially with Redoer, is that you get to get different effects based on what's under it. So I like that. I like that they kept with the theme and that Redoer is still kind of like the big thing for it. Now, with all that, the last 3 spell cards that we play are 1 Rhoda to search the Utopia stuff. You can search the Oh god, what's his name? I just saw him. The Utopia, the baby Utopia. You can search that with it. One Foolish Burial, because there is stuff that wants to be in the graveyard in this deck, and one Monster Reborn. These are very simple one-ofs, just like literally just power one-ofs that are almost good in every deck. And so they're good here. That's it for the main deck stuff. Moving into the extra deck. I'm playing 2 Redoer. If you don't know what Redoer does, he requires 2 materials, and during the standby phase, he gets to take a card off the top of the opponent's deck and stick it under him, and then you can do different effects based on what is under him. So specifically, the wording is quick effect. You can detach up to 3 different types of materials from this card, then apply the following effects depending on what was detached. If the monster was detached, you banish him until the end phase. Spell was detached, you get a draw card, and if a trap was detached, you can place 1 face-up card your opponent controls on top of the deck. You can only use this effect of Redoer once per turn. So basically, he dips out of the way, he comes back on the standby phase and all that. So just, if you haven't played against Redoer, he's a crazy card. He's actually like insane and kind of difficult to deal with. Then I'm also playing 2 Perpetua. Perpetua needs 2 level 4 monsters, and it says during the standby phase, you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 Time Thief monster in your graveyard, except Perpetua, special summon that monster. She has a quick effect. You can target 1 other Xyz monster you control, attach 1 Time Thief card from your deck to it as material. You can only use each effect of Perpetua once per turn. She is great. She supports the deck an insane amount, and she does a lot for Time Thieves. This is one of the better Time Thief cards, and it's super cool that we were able to get this card as quick as we did. And so that's it for the Time Thief Xyz. There's only 2 of them anyways, so. But moving right along, starting for the Utopia stuff, we have 1 Gagaga Magician, that's a lot of Gaga. He needs 2 level 4 monsters, and his effect is you can detach 1 material from this card, then target 1 Xyz monster in your graveyard, except Gagaga Magician, special summon it, but negate its effects. Basically, we use this to revive Utopia and slap lightning on top of it. Real talk. And then it says negate its effects. It says a Utopic future Xyz monster that has used this card as material gains this effect. During your main phase, you can detach 2 materials from this card, then target 1 Xyz monster you control. Till the end of this turn, change its attack to 4,000. Also negates effects. That's one of the things I should be playing is a Utopic future monster. I don't have one instantly, like immediately, which sounds really weird because I'm pretty sure he's a legendary hero. I have no clue where they are. So that's one of the cards I'm missing. 1 Utopia double for, oh, you can't see my Utopia double. There you go. 1 Utopia double for obvious reasons. Like, we're playing double or nothing. It's a Utopia-esque deck. It's basically a Gagaga deck. We gotta play Utopia double. And if you're playing Utopia double, you have to play Utopia, and I already mentioned him. 1 Utopia the Lightning. Now, there is another Utopia monster I want to play called Utopia Beyond. It's a rank 6, and basically what he does is he turns all your opponent's monsters to 0. So one of the things you can do is use Utopia double, slap Beyond on top of him, and if your opponent has no floating effects or like they just have 2 monsters that you're able to swing into, and you have a Redoer on the board or a monster with over 2,000 attack, like actually just 2,000 attack, you win because the Utopia Beyond will be 6,000. So he'll be 6,000, switch everything to 0, and you'll be able to swing with him. So that's pretty cool. I'm also playing 1 Tornado Dragon because it's Tornado Dragon, it's a good rank 4, and that's really it for like the rank 4s. I know Lightning isn't technically a rank 4, but you slap him on top of the Utopias, he goes with them. So setting those aside a little bit, I'm also playing 1 Hope Harbinger. It's a good rank 8 that negates spell cards and sticks it under it. It's basically Time Thief Redoer, and that's anyway. I'm also playing 1 Dingirsu because Dingirsu is another really good rank 8 that allows you to protect stuff. And as for the Link monsters, we're in Master Rule 5 now. You don't need Link monsters per se, and this deck definitely doesn't need Link monsters, but I am playing 1 Gravity Controller because there's a small little combo you can do if you open, and this is a really dumb thing to be playing this, but I liked it. So it's like a Gravity Controller, Gagaga Magician, and Lightning. You get to do stuff with that, and then I'm also playing 1 Mega Clops. This is really the only Link monster this deck needs to play. Like, if you don't want to play the Gravity Controller, I completely get it. I'm actually thinking about cutting it myself, but Mega Clops is definitely a card you want to be playing in this deck. And with that said, that is it for Time Thieves. I have been doing test hands with this deck. I've been doing like little just kind of combos with it, and this deck is really fun. I enjoy this deck a lot, and it's nice to actually be able to do something with my Time Thief cards, because I've been collecting them and trying to do something with them for a little while now. I wasn't able to pick up everything out of Ignition Assault, but I was able to get some stuff from one of my buddies. So, but yeah, this is a really fun little deck, and I like it. Let me know what you guys think about this deck in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And with that said, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.